In this section, we're going to continue looking at the docker run command, or some slight variations of it. Now, before I show you the next kind of variation on this command that we're going to look at, I want to give you one quick reminder. Remember, anytime that we execute docker run with an image, we not only get that file system snapshot, but we also get this default command that is supposed to be executed after the container is created. So the variation on docker run that we're going to look at is going to give you a way to override this default startup command. Here's how we do it. We'll execute docker run the image name just like we did before, and then after that we'll supply a alternate command to be executed inside the container after it starts up. This is an override, so whatever default command is included inside of the image is not going to be executed. Let's try this out right now and just see how it works. All right, so I'm going to find my terminal and I'm going to execute docker run, and then I'm going to specify my image. We're going to use a different image than what we used before. We're going to use an image called BusyBox, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. After that, we'll list out the alternate command to execute inside the container after it is created. And so I'm going to say that I want to run a command echo hi there. So this right here is the override. This is a command that will be executed inside that container. The echo command is going to print out hi there inside my terminal. So if this works the way we would expect, I'll see the text hi there appear. So I'm going to run that, and sure enough, yep, we see that. We can change the text provided here to the echo command as much as we please. So I could say, bye there, or I could say, how are you? You get the idea. Now I want to show you a small variation on that command, and this is going to start to make things a little bit more interesting than just kind of echoing text back over to you. I want you to run docker run BusyBox, and then the override command that we're going to use this time is going to be ls. If you've never used ls before, it's going to print out all the files and folders inside of a given directory. So let's try running this and seeing what happens. So according to our Docker container, when we print out our files and folders, we have bin, etc, dev, home, proc, root, sys, temp, user, and var. These are all folders right here. And if you are on, say, a Windows machine right here, these folders might look very strange to you and very unfamiliar. So in fact, these are folders that are being printed out that are not belonging to you on your computer. These are folders that exist solely inside that container. I want to remind you about exactly what happens when we create a container out of an image. So over here, we've got the BusyBox image. It has some default file system snapshot and some presumably default command. You know, who knows what it is off the top of my head, but it definitely has this default file system snapshot. The BusyBox image has default folders of bin, dev, etc, home, proc, root, and so on, all the ones that you see listed right here. So when we create a new container out of that image, we take this file system snapshot, we stick it in as the folder for that container, and then the command that we execute is ls. So we list out all the files and folders inside of our hard drive, which then prints out bin, dev, etc, home, proc, and root. So that's pretty much it. Now, one thing you might be a little bit curious about is why we chose to use the BusyBox image here as opposed to the Hello World one that we were using before. Well, let's go back over to our terminal really quickly, and we're going to try running Hello World with the ls command. So I'll do docker run hello-world, and I'll do ls right here. And you're going to very quickly see that we get a kind of nasty error message. Well, let's try doing the echo command and see what happens. I'll do docker run hello world echo hi there, and we get a very similar error message here as well. So what's going on? Well, here's the issue. When we run the alternate commands, or those alternate echo and ls commands with BusyBox, those commands work because ls and echo are two programs that exist inside of the BusyBox file system image. Somewhere inside of this folder system right here is a ls command, or an actual ls executable, and a echo executable as well. And so we can safely execute those commands with BusyBox because those are programs that exist inside this file system. However, with our Hello World program over here, the only thing that exists inside this file system snapshot is a single program, like one single file. And all that thing does is echo out, or kind of print out, that singular message that we saw when we ran that container. So these startup commands that we are executing are being based upon the file system included with the image. And if we try to execute a command inside the container that uses a program that doesn't or is not contained within this file system, we're going to see that error. Okay, so a little bit more on Docker run command. Let's take another quick break right now and continue in the next section.